Am I live? Let me see. Well, everyone, I think I'm live. Yeah, I just thought I would pop on today and try out a live stream, kind of as a proof of concept. Kind of make sure I can do it, my computer set up for it, and all that. And kind of just to test the streaming setup. There is something I wanted to work on today, though, and so maybe we can get started on that. I'm guessing it's gonna be a pretty quiet stream. If a few people pop on, though, that will be a lot of fun to chat with. Otherwise, I'm just gonna pretend like I'm doing this offline, and yeah, hopefully we can have some fun with it. So what I'm gonna be working on today is I'm gonna be showing off a little bit more of the plugin system in the engine, show off a little bit more of the how to actually extend the game, or I guess the framework. I keep calling it an engine. I keep calling it an engine, but I meant framework. How to extend the framework and implement your own custom code for whatever you're trying to do. So what I was working on, I think the last time I was working on this project, and let me start Bash. What I was working on was creating a layer for rendering like heads-up displays, GUI layers, and all that. Let me make sure that actually, real quick, I'm gonna mute myself and make sure that I hear some audio coming through. All right, cool. I think everything is working. It's been a while since I've done a live stream, so I'm really green. But I'd like to do some more of them since I think they're a lot of fun. They do really well, oddly, on my channel. Some of my most popular videos are live streams, just videos that I had no idea would actually do well. So I think it'll be a good way for me to, practice talking with you guys again and making videos and all that. But anyway, we can see that we have this red square right here, and what this is coming from is it's coming from this plugin, this console plugin I have right here. The way this plugin system works is that a plugin is essentially an identifier and then a list of functions, and those list of functions will hook into the different stages of a game cycle, game event. So for instance, this console plugin hooks into the listen state. So whenever there's an event that triggers, it is listening to that to all events automatically. At some point, I would like to restrict this event so that you can say listen to this collection of events or only this one event. But for now, every plugin can listen to the entire the entire event bus, I guess. So it can listen to events. I also hooked up an update function. So every single frame, this will get called as well. And then also a draw step. But I could very easily, just remove update, and now this plugin has nothing to do with updates. I can also make this so that I don't have access to any state variables. And so this is all part of the goal I'm going for, where each plugin basically can opt in to as many systems and as much access as it needs. But for now, let's just leave console where it's at. So like I said, I've been wanting to make a heads-up display, or at least start on a heads-up display, because I've been working on these events. And while working in a game engine called Godot, I really enjoyed how the event system, how the signals work in that, where you can like create an entire UI, and then the UI system just basically has a bunch of signals that it listens to. And so your UI doesn't need to actually have access to the game state. All it has to do is listen to a bunch of signals. And so I wanted to do something very similar in this game framework. And so to actually develop that, I want to start on developing the HUD system. So I'm just gonna get started doing that, and we'll see how this goes. I haven't really, I haven't practiced or anything like this, so I'm gonna be super green, but. Okay, so the type of HUD that I would like to develop, I've been a really big fan of this game called, well, I'm sure a lot of people know, but it's called Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door for the GameCube, and I really enjoy its heads-up display. I think it's one of the best heads-up displays. Let me make sure that's visible on stream. It's one of the best heads-up displays I've worked with or I've ever played with. I just think it's really colorful. It really pops. It shows you everything that you need to know in a very simple way. It's very stylized and all that. And I think that kind of stylized kind of graphic, I don't know what to call it, but I think that would work really well for the type of game that I'm going for. I also really like that the heads-up display will automatically hide when you stop moving, or when no, when you start moving, you'll hide, that kind of thing. And that's something I want to add. Just keeps everything really nice and clean. So this is the kind of design language that I'm going to go for. And yeah, oops. Okay, so to get started, I'm just gonna create I'm probably just gonna create a draw function and just get something drawing on the screen. So just like we did, just like I did over here with the console, I'm gonna create a draw function for this plugin. It's gonna take in the artist. Every draw function has to take in the artist. I'm gonna import artist from artist. I'm having a hard time typing. Okay, and then we need vmath for those vector 2, and then also chroma for the color. Okay. So now what we need is a builder function. This builder function, what it does is, given the collection of plugins, you basically get to add, your own plugin to the mix. I kind of want to, at some point, see about making it so that I don't need to even know about this plugins object, but instead the builder function would return maybe like a list of functions and the ID or something like that, just to kind of keep things clean, make it so that the plugins don't need to know about all the rest of the plugins. Because right now I'm passing around this object that technically it can't access any field off of there, but I still feel the need that, or I don't think we actually need to pass that around for everything. So I'm going to call this build heads up display. It's going to take in a plugins. It's going to return plugins, since this is a function that you can call in a chain of other functions. And then just like on the left hand side, actually it's probably a little difficult to see. I'm on a widescreen monitor, so I'm going to name this. So I have to make a plugin, you have to give it a unique ID. And that unique ID is what all the different functions get associated to. So this is just going to be the heads-up display. So I'm just going to call it HUD. At some point, I would like to have it so that I can manage these IDs, so that I can also check for like ID collisions, that kind of thing. Just kind of make it a little bit more bulletproof for when the other people, if they choose to want to use this, they don't run into all these pitfalls. Let's just do that. Okay. And we'll just add a draw function. Okay, what is it complaining about? Okay, so we need to plugins.plugin bar plugins. We need to actually import the plugins. So that's going to come from the core module. Cool. Okay, so let's go to the main file. This is where I've been registering all of the different plugins. So along with console, we're going to grab the heads-up display, and we're going to just do .build heads-up display. And this is basically as simple as it gets for hooking into a different stage in the game system, the game cycle, to add another plugin. That's how simple it is. Eventually, yeah, like I said, I would like to remove that builder function, but we'll see what I can do about that. Okay, so what I expect right now is there's going to be a red square. I probably should have moved it, since that's going to conflict with the red square from the console. Okay, so we can see that we have two red squares right now. One's from the console and one's from the new heads-up display. So that's perfect. I'm going to go ahead and disable the console. Since I'm not actively developing it right now, I don't want to have to see it. But yeah, there we go. We got a red square. Okay, so my God, a stream in 2023. Yeah. I'm expecting that I'll be doing a lot more streams. It's something that I really want to do more of. I want to have I want to have people pop in, and some people I can talk to, that kind of thing. Like I said in the previous video I released, my cousin, he's a game developer. Currently, I think he's doing some web development, but it'll be really nice to bring him on and we can talk about what we enjoy with game development, games in general. Just have a really chill conversation while we develop. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to update the artist to allow me to grab the different corners of the screen because typically I'm going to be positioning things on the left-hand side or the right-hand side of the screen, not so much near the, well, okay, maybe a little towards the middle, but maybe not so much towards the middle sides. But we'll see. For now, I just need to come up with some measuring way to measure the canvas that I'm trying to render to so I can get the left-hand side or and right-hand side. Oh yeah? Well, that's really cool. I'm glad that Lua video could get you into it. C and Java, very nice. Any projects that you're interested in working on or that you're currently working on? I have a lot of fun still with writing C and Java even, and I would love to do some more like streams with them. I just have to find a good project to work on. Okay, so it looks like we already have, I forgot about these. We already have these functions. Eventually, I want to make it so it's not dependent on the window. It can be dependent on whatever frame is the parent frame. But it looks like we can position stuff towards the left-hand side and the right-hand side. So what I'm going to do, I think, is start off with just a few, maybe one item on the left-hand side, one item on the right-hand side. So right now, a rectangle can work for that. Not exactly sure all of the different UI items that I want to actually have in the heads-up display quite yet. Let me check. Border radius. I kind of want to add a border radius. Just make it look a little nicer, and then let's make it not red. Let's just make it white for right now. Okay, we'll set it here, 100, 100. Oops. Oh, that is way too much. I forgot. Okay, so I made the border radius a fraction. So I'm going to say it's maybe 15% or something like that. A little better. Oh, so this is something that I wanted to show off as well. I didn't get to show off in the previous video, but I kind of wanted to right now. In Nim, there is a built-in way to do hot reloading, but it's a little bit it's quite a bit buggy at the moment. I haven't really been able to get it to work. So for now, what I'm trying to do is do something a little bit more hacky. Also, I didn't want to invest a ton of time in making everything a DLL because that's another way I could achieve hot reloading. For now, though, I'm going to keep it really simple. I would like hot reloading to work basically where I hit a button, it auto-compiles the program in the background, and then reloads the program, and then resets the state to exactly where it was before. And that is something I currently have. Hopefully it works. Yep, I currently have, well, it didn't quite work as well as I wanted it to. But yeah, as you can see, all of the entities here, all of these rocks, the trees, and everything like that, they're randomly generated, but when I reload, I'll be in the same place, and the trees and everything like that will be in the same place as well. So it's kind of working. If I make a change, it'll recompile and then reload right here. You're working on a carrot theme mafia game. Friends got busy, so that's on hold using Gitto 4. Yep. What's the draw of Nim? I think I watched a couple of your Nim videos, but it's been a minute. What I really like about Nim is it's just a really good intersection of all the different things I really enjoy with different programming languages. It's also very much a tool that you can hack on and make your own. To me, it feels a lot like a Lisp-like language, where the macro system works a lot like a Lisp language. So, it has a lot of the same features that you can get in Rust, but unlike Rust, it's more opt-in. So if you want the, like the reference counting and all that really nice stuff, you have to, in Nim, you can opt into it, and then you have this really nice reference counted, safe, programming environment. But if you wanted to do something a little differently, there's some patterns that I like writing in a way that's mutable that wouldn't really pass the Rust borrow checker, even though it is technically correct. Besides that, I just really like the syntax, a lot of the semantics. I think concepts are gonna be something really useful once they work through they're kind of trying to turn concepts into a little bit of like an interface system. And once that happens, I just think that'd be really great. But besides that, Nim just a really nice tool to work with. I have a lot of fun writing it. It's something I really enjoy. All right, so we have a square in that corner. Let's create a square in the other corner. There's no like real big also corporations or anything controlling it. It's really just a guy and a bunch of other really passionate hackers that are working on the language itself, and I think they're doing something really great with it. Yes, I would love to open source this framework. I don't believe it is currently because I'm building a game on top of it. But one of my goals, and I'll be doing this on stream, is all of these different systems that I'm building for this game. I'm going to be extracting them out into a separate library. Let me see if I can find it. It's a Coral. I had a 2D rendering library. I'm on a different GitHub account, so I probably just need to sign into that. Oh yeah, okay. So I had this library called Coral that I was building to kind of be my 2D game framework rendering library and all that. I wanted to do something very similar, basically, bring it back from the dead and start moving some code over to it. But yeah, my goal is to keep everything 100% open source. Even the game, like when I'm done with the game, I feel like I'll probably sell it for maybe a year or so and then open source the whole thing. Okay, so one thing I also want to create is a margin because I want there to be a margin from the screen. I don't want all the elements to kind of butt up against the edge there. So I'm just going to again define it as a constant just for right now. Maybe I'll make something that it's something you have to call. I'm going to call it edge margin. And for now, it really should be like a fraction of the window or some fraction of some other measurement I can take. But for now, I'm going to just do a solid pixel measurement or a solid pixel, or just make it a hard-coded pixel value. I like the community stuff. I switched to Arch Linux on my desktop and have a Chromebook running Arch based. Nice. Nice. If I didn't have a full-time job where I have to make sure my computer is 100% working, I would probably be on Arch again. But I'm too much of a tinkerer that I spend so much time on Arch, just building my Arch rice and all that I end up working on that more than I probably should. Right now I'm just on Linux Mint because I just need something to work consistently and not break all the time, that kind of thing. Okay, so we're going to go from the right edge to the edge margin. I'm going to calculate the element size. For now, I'm just going to hard code it. So we're going to subtract the edge margin plus 100, which is the size of the element I'm working with. I'm going to move that to a constant, though. Let's make it 75 pixels. Let's place all those. Okay. Whoops. Let's try that again. Yeah, well, Arch is a great environment to learn on and just have a lot of fun hacking on. Especially in school. Like in school, I got all my buddies to switch to Arch. Okay, so I'm gonna shrink the edge margin to like 24. Okay, so one thing I also want to do is, like I said, I wanted to animate it in and out as you move the player. So like if you move the player, I want it to kind of go away a little bit, and then when you stop moving it to like come back in. One thing I didn't really think about though is I need to know when the player starts and when the player stops. And I don't really currently have a way to do that. So I think I'm going to do something a little bit gross, which is just listen to an event. Maybe this is gross. Maybe this is how I should do it. But let's let's listen to an event, and then when that event triggers, then we'll flip some state. And actually, we need some state, so let's do state game state. We need to import that like so, and I think we need an import event as well. Events. Okay. Okay, so we have this listen function, and let's now add it like that. And let's see. Let me see how I did it over here. So, oh right, okay. So we're gonna create a new event. So to create a unique event, basically I just what I do is I just create a type, and that type is the payload of the event. There may be some that are void, and I still like every single event has a payload, and that's something I kind of want to fix because some things don't need a payload. But for now, let's do an event player moved perhaps. And we could just make it a Boolean or something. For now, whenever I listen to an event, I want to just log here. And I'm going to get rid of this just to make things a little less spammy. Okay. Okay, so whenever I press space, by the way, I'm currently logging an event, and that's why you see LS here. So let's get rid of that. Okay. Get rid of that, and get rid of, well, maybe I'll keep this here for right now. Okay, so I'm just gonna log a player moved event whenever we hit space, because that's the key I have bound to make it so that when we to move basically. Okay, so we need to import the plugin, the heads up display plugin. Ideally, I wouldn't have to do this. I would like to have a place where I can have all my events basically kept there. Just gonna do player moved like so. I think that's all I have to do. Object type needs to, oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I mean, I could just do. See, this is the problem. I don't really want it to be associated to a type. So I'm just gonna, for right now, until I get to it, make it a string. Okay, so now whenever I press space, we should log a player moved event. Let's redo down there. Okay, so we have some game state. What I'd like to do is have a store some game state to kind of whenever the player moved event gets logged, I would like to reset a timer, and then when the timer goes up or it goes out, I would like to hide the UI. So how do I want to do that? Let me create some HUD state. Just make it an object. Ooh. Yeah, good luck on your driver's test, and have fun at the gym. Thanks for popping by. I need to hit up the gym. I've been doing a little bit of working out, just trying to, not look so shrimpy, but hasn't been working out too well. It's hard to motivate yourself when you got all this fun coding to do. Okay, so what am I doing? State. What I want to do is I want to add some new state, or maybe listen to some state. So before I do that, just because of the hackiness of this this project for right now, I'm going to have a load event. Let me make sure that's what it's called. Loaders. I want to see the overloads for it. Okay, so I can have a loader with and that takes in nothing, takes in game state. So I want one that takes into game state. So state var game state. And the reason why I need this is because I want to register some state. So plugins can have state, and the way that works is you have to go through the game state object, or you can use global, the global state up here, but nothing you put up here will actually get saved to the profile. And you have to be kind of careful not to, global variables are always a bad idea, especially if the plugin unloads or loads or, that kind of thing. So we're going to add a loader, which is our load function. And I'm just going to say state.setState. And then all I have to do is initialize the HUD state. And that will work for me there. So when the player moves, I want to reset the HUD timer. So I'm just going to create a HUD timer. And I don't know if I have a timer. Do I have any? I do kind of have a timer. Let me try this. That's in the core library. So let's do that. Let's name it hide timer, perhaps. And if the hide timer is at 0, then that's when we hide the display. And whenever you hit space, it resets the HUD timer. Something like that. We'll see. So we have this timer function and the max. We can say 1 second perhaps. Now we can do state.withState. And then the state that we want is the HUD state. Let me see. I kind of forgot how to do this. Okay, so we say with state. You can also pass in an optional value. Okay, yeah, this is okay. That's right. Okay, so state.hudtimer.reset. That's going to reset the current value to value, which is going to be 0. Let's just reset to 1. Actually, this timer counts up, doesn't it? We'll reset to 0. That's fine. And then when we initialize it, that's the max time. We'll set that to 1. Okay. Okay. So we're going to need the update function so that we can update the state. So the update is going to take a game state. And then let's register that. Then do I just update the timer? We tick the timer. And I don't really have a good way of getting the delta time, unfortunately. So for right now, I'm going to have to use a get delta time. Is that what it's called? Get frames time. Get frame time. Gonna have to use a raylib function. So this is one thing I was trying to avoid, is having to call these raylib functions. Actually, let's just do that. Because I don't want to depend too much on raylib itself. But right now I don't have a timing mechanism, so I'm kind of stuck with doing this. So I'll call it good for now. Okay, so the timer's ticking, and then if state.timer. Okay, so there's a completed. So complete. Kind of want to change that to past tense at some point, but okay. So I'm gonna have a. Oh, you know what? Actually, I probably don't need to do this. Let's have a margin. Let's have the margin stored up here. The initial state of the margin, we can just have be 0. That's fine. Then down here, I want to say, if the timer is complete, then state.margin is equal to, let's linearly interpolate the margin to get margin or frame margin. What did I name it? Edge margin. That's what I named it. And that will be delta time for that. Now we want the game state. And let's do a with state. I want to find a way to also make the whole accessing state a little easier. Not that it's particularly difficult, but you know, I have to wrap it in this with state thing. Okay, and then where it says edge margin, let's create a variable constant called margin. It's going to be state.margin. Just named it margin. That's not auto-completing for some reason. Alright, I'm curious what this is going to do. Oh, I guess nothing. I need to delete the profile. I don't, at the moment, have a way to migrate old saves and stuff, unfortunately. In case anyone's curious, this is what the save kind of looks like. It's just this JSON file that I've serialized down. All the game state gets stored here. You can see like there's the game state, the menu UI state, all that other stuff gets serialized here. And then the entities get serialized in their own file. And this is the entire state of the entity component system. So it's a little wasteful. I want to clean that up a bit at some point. Make it so that the save is really small and compressed if I can. But that's how it's done for now. I'm just going to delete them. Because I think what it's complaining about is I created a new state. Okay, let's see. With state from here. Is it because the timer? Is there anything on here that it doesn't like? Undeclared routine to JSON. So I guess I can't convert the state to JSON. Why would that be the case? Let's try that. If I make it public, maybe I'll have access to it. Oh, do I need to import the state? No. Which line was that? State 22. It's in the what's with state. I mean, there should be a variant where I don't need to pass in a type value. Sorry, you probably can't see this. Let me comment this out for right now and see if I can get it to compile without that, or where it complains next. It's when we set the state. And I guess it doesn't have a way to convert to JSON. Wonder if that's the timer. Though I don't know why I would have a problem with the timer. But if I get rid of it, or let's see. Still a lot of debugging I need to do with serializing all the different types. Sometimes I have problems if it's a type that doesn't have a JSON or a toJSON function defined for it. me see. How does the game state manage its state? I don't really see what I'm doing differently. So I have a game state. It's an object. Don't need to really export that. I'm also saving timers on the game state version. Let me get rid of this. Did I just need to import JSON-y? If so, it's kind of annoying if I had to. I'm gonna name this HUD instead, just so I don't get confused with the game state itself. A lot of this, I think, is also just the plugin, the nim plugin, giving me some false flags. Undeclared field timer. Why is that field undeclared? Okay, let's try this again. Let me comment this out. Get a new set of errors. Comment this out. This needs to be a floating point number. Okay, we compiling. We happy? I think we're happy. So why didn't this work? What's going on here? Getting the HUD state right here. Let me try just logging the HUD state. These are all the little things that I'm running into that I really want to get to improve for when other people get to if they want to use this. You know, just little ergonomic issues. You know, bad error messages, that kind of thing. Not surprised it's not found. I don't know why we're doing am I calling get state? No, just set state. Now this listen should definitely not happen before the load, or at least I don't believe it should happen before the load. Oh, that's not very useful, is it? So we're loading, then listening. All right, well, let me hide this right. Or actually, one thing I want to do is name this UI or HUD. Or actually, let's keep this going. Let's get rid of this. Is it seriously complaining in the update function? Oh, it is. In the plugins update. Hmm. It's interesting. Okay. So, okay. I mean, what we're printing is the game state. It'd be nice if state of type name t is equal to the state JSON. I don't know why this isn't working. It's a type description of type T. What is this actually? Looks reasonable. Getting the state, calling the block with the state. One thing I should do is check if the key exists. If I do it right now, that's kind of a hack, but I want to check if the key exists. That way I can log if it doesn't. I think that'd be useful. So let's see. T, name of T. If st.state.hasKey. If we have the key, then we can call this. Otherwise, at some point I'd probably raise an exception or something here, but key state not found. Let's bring in stir format for this. Okay, let's try that. Undeclared identifier name. Oh, okay. Let me try format. I'm surprised it doesn't know about name. Try that. State not found, HUD state. No worky. Ah, I see. Okay. I figured it was something like that. It's a magic value. At some point I'd like it to log to some logging library so I can actually see when I save state and all that as well. Seems a little suspicious that we're setting the state. Well, okay, I guess we're setting the state down here. Okay, so one thing I do want to do is this game state. I'm currently saving a JSON string, and then parsing it each frame for each plugin, which is super inefficient. I wanted to do something that I did in the entity component system, where I had this abstract component buffer and then I could store basically any type in there. Might try something like that. Okay, for right now, I'm gonna check the. I'm gonna echo also the state of the entire state of the table. Ooh. Perhaps that wasn't the best. So confused. So we have the list of the other state variables in the system. What am I doing wrong over here? Really should have tested this out more before I started streaming. Curious how when this gets called. Hmm. Guess I wouldn't be loading the game scene quite yet anyway. Since I'm at the menu, so that's to be expected. Hmm. Well, I think I have some bugs pretty clearly with the state system, so maybe we won't work with that today. I think what I need to do is store, basically abstractly store the all the game state in a container instead of storing it as a JSON string. I need to check the actual keys since I'm using the type name itself for the keys as well. And so if I wipe away some other game state, I'm not warning about that at all. Yeah, I'll probably do that off stream, so I'm not just hacking on it for way too long trying to figure out what's going on. But yeah, this was just a kind of an attempt to make sure that I can stream, that I got the setup correct and everything like that. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these, and hopefully next time things will actually be working a little better. I didn't expect it to I thought it'd be pretty straightforward starting today, but I got a little bit more work ahead of me to make sure the state system and everything like that is working correctly. But yeah, thank you all for that popped in and left some comments. And I'm not sure when the next stream will be. I'm still wanting to work out a schedule. But I'll be hacking on this project some more, and I'll probably come up. The first thing I do in the next stream is probably talk about what went wrong here and why it was and all that. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.